Anytime I have ever made a decision that I wanted better for myself, better always came. And when you have faith that God is gonna bring that better in your life, and you have the patience enough to wait for it, your whole life will change. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel where we talk about all things faith, marketing, and just overall being an intentional woman, building the life of your dreams. I have not been on YouTube in a while, and I feel like every single time I come on here, I say this, but I really have something I want to share with you guys today that I feel like if you are in this space as a woman, you will be able to take value from it and be able to apply it to your life at whatever stage you are in. Today, we're going to be talking about what it looks like when you finally decide that you want a better life. You finally decide you want to go after the career that you've been wishing and hoping and praying for. You finally decide that you're done settling in your friendships and your relationships. You finally decide that you want to live a life that is authentic and real for you. I mean, it's so easy as a woman to spend your life self-sacrificing and giving and uplifting and trying to prove yourself to certain people and certain circumstances. But if you are evolving as a woman, you finally reach this place where you're like, I want better for myself. I'm gonna stop at nothing to get that. And so I know for me, I'm at a stage in my life where I want better outcomes in my life. I want a better career. I want to increase my finances. I want to feel more respected as a woman. I want a God-given, husband and relationship where it's built on the right foundation. But it comes a time where sometimes we have to experience situations where we're learning ourselves. Maybe that means we were in a relationship where we settled ourselves into that relationship and the person, just couldn't treat us the way that we knew that we deserved to be treated. We all go through these phases in our life where things just aren't up to par. It's not up to our standard. At some point, I do believe God is teaching us lessons so that we can know our worth, know our God-given authority, and know the life that we are meant to live. And this comes with courage, which is what we're really going to talk about when you finally make that decision that you want a better life, what that looks like practically. Okay, let's say for an example, you have had tumultuous, friendships, and you kind of felt like your friendships, you weren't connecting with the people. Like when you were connecting with them, it was based off of a lower version of you, or maybe these people don't show up for you the way that you show up for them, right? You finally decide you want better friendships and that you are going to become someone new so that you can attract these friendships. There's a period of time, which I call the liminal space, when you finally make a decision and you're not where you used to be. So you're not with the old friend group because you've decided to finally walk away. Like you want better friendships and this is not serving you. You walk away, right? There's this liminal space, and this is for anything, not even just friendships, career, okay, finances, your relationship, okay? You finally walk away from that older thing that you used to resonate with, but yet when you walk away, you're in this transition season. And so when you're in this transition season, it's easy for, there to be moments of doubt, moments of fear, moments of not really knowing, just feeling lost, not really knowing where you're headed. But I will argue and say that this is a space that transforms everything. Because once you make a decision that you no longer are available for something that doesn't serve you, you remove it from your life, you create space for the very thing that you do desire to come into your life. So it's like all of these things that are freed, it's freed now, right? The space is free. You might not have the friendships. And in this period, you may feel lonely, and this is the hardest period. And this is why people stay stuck in their lives. This is why they never go after their dreams and they never go after the things that they know that they are deserving of, because the fear is way more stronger than the desire to move forward and to grow. And so we let the fear keep us in a place that we know that, we've grown out of and we deserve more. But once we make that decision to finally have the courage to let go of the thing that is not up to par, that's not reaching our standard, is not taking us to where God has us, it takes courage. It's a walk. I don't know about you, but I used to think that, you know, if I make a decision, my whole life is gonna change overnight and this new thing is gonna come into my life. Like, okay, so say, you know, I broke up with someone and then I just knew the relationship was not it for me, right? But I know what kind of relationship that I do want. I'm thinking, you know, God is gonna send that man to me right after I break up with the old guy. It takes time for that thing to manifest into your life. And again, this is the hardest part. This is the part where people stay stuck. This is the part where they question if what they did was right. But I'm here to tell you that if there's something on your heart where you feel like you've been settling, you feel like you deserve better, you finally decided that you want better, God has placed that on your heart for a reason, okay? As long as it's not out of arrogance or pride or out of your own like impulsiveness, it is a desire that God has put on your heart, and it's for a reason. God wants the best for you. Like, he wants to bring in, you know, the desires of your heart. He wants you to have and live, you know, a prosperous life. But again, this is a co-creation thing with God. Like, we have to actively act out what it is that we want. So that means being courageous. I know that I'm in a season where I've chosen to walk away. If you look at my TikTok, if you ever are on my page, you know that I recently, you know, left a job that I felt like was keeping me small. And during the season of finding another job, knowing that my skills are worth more, I've gone through all the different emotions and thoughts of like, okay, well, what if this and what if that, and was it the right decision? But time and time again, as time moves on, I'm starting to recognize that that was the right decision. And it placed, like, if I did not leave that place, I would not be in the position I am now, and I would not have the perspective that I have now, knowing my worth, knowing, you know, what it is I actually want to do moving forward with my life, being more intentional. If I didn't have this space and time to think about that, then I wouldn't be here. So even after that, God has been providing for me in miraculous ways. He's shown his favor, his provision to me. And also I've had, you know, opportunities that are like triple the salary that I was making at my old job. So although, you know, I'm still in this process of finding the right, you know, role for me, I made the decision to walk away from something that wasn't serving me because I consulted God. And this is another thing, like, if you have a relationship with God, consulting him and asking him, you know, like, what does he want you to do, will really help you be able to make the decision that is on your heart. It'll give you courage because you'll know that God is backing you. So even through that, being courageous, knowing that you deserve better as a woman, like, you just know for a fact that you deserve a good life. You know, you want to live a good, prosperous life. You want to live a soft life as a woman. You want to be in your femininity. You want all these things as a woman. And it's possible for you. It just takes actively choosing this life every single day. And if something is not, you know, up to par, if something is not up to, you know, does not equate to this life that, you know, God has put on your heart and this vision that you see, it comes a time where that thing has to go. I'm sorry. And some people may not, you know, some people may hear this and be like, what? Listen, when you are used to giving and you're used to not really having that boldness and that identity about you, and you're used to just like playing small and doing what everybody else thinks you should do, it feels like a lot to say, you know, I'm gonna remove all the things in my life that are not equating to the life of my dreams. It feels like a lot. It feels like you're stepping out there and you're like, wow, like, this is different. Your nervous system is like, what is happening? But that does not mean that it's wrong. It doesn't mean it's the wrong decision. Anytime I have ever made a decision that I wanted better for myself and I walked away, better always came. And when you have faith that God is going to bring that better in your life, and you have the patience enough to wait for it, oh my gosh, your whole life will change. But it requires the patience, it requires the knowingness, it requires the faith every single day. Like, you have to tell yourself these things, and you have to be walking in these things before they happen. Say, you know, you've decided you want better in your finances. You want to be rich, right? Like, you want to be wealthy, you want to be prosperous. You have got to start acting like the rich person you are. Think about yourself. What would change if you were rich? Would it be that, you know, you would have the finances to be able to travel? You would have the finances to be able to actually build the things that you want into the world, whether it's a business, a nonprofit organization, whatever. You'll have the resources to be able to do that. What would that person look, act like, be like? What would they, you know, who are they? Start acting like that person before the thing shows up, because I promise you, the thing eventually will show up. It just takes time. So when the first thing is making the decision that you want better, because then once you make that decision, that's your spark. And then really after that, it's just, you know, seeking God, having people, whether it's people in your life who support you. Make sure it's the right people who can see your vision and believe in you and know that this is an act of faith that you have to step out on. So after that, you just got to know that once you step out on faith, doesn't mean that the whole journey is going to be easy to getting to the thing that you want. It's going to require you to be mentally strong and to know in your heart that you deserve this better thing. Like, you have to know, because that's what's going to sustain you to keep going. That is what's going to keep you moving forward in your life and actively choosing that better thing each day. I don't know, it just requires you to have that beast come out of you. It requires you to have that boldness come out of you. People say this all the time, like when someone finally gets fed up. Getting fed up is the best thing that could ever happen to you, because that is when you are at the precipice of the decision to change your life. I strongly believe this. This is how I felt at my old job. I just got fed up. I seeked God. I said, God, are you telling me to leave this place? God confirmed. I left this place. I left that place, and better has been coming my way. There has been seeds that have been planted that better is like, it has no choice but to come your way once you decide. This is what people don't understand. Once you decide, this is why it's so important to have agency and ownership over your life and your mind, because once you decide, there is nothing else that can come into your life but that thing. Meaning, there might be other things that come into your life that are not up to par, right? But once you have decided, you're not going to go for those things. You're not going to settle for those things. You've decided that you're not going to settle. And when you've made that decision, the better option, the better thing has no choice but to come to you. And this is what people don't understand. Once you walk away from the terrible relationship and you say, I am not doing this anymore, you have broken the pattern. This requires pattern recognition in your life to know, what am I continuously saying yes to? And what am I continuously saying no to? Because we are doing this on a daily basis. This is how God this is how God made our minds. This is how God made us as humans. We have this subconscious side to us that is making decisions, whether it's conscious or subconscious, all the time. So one thing that I've been really thinking about that I have been doing in my life is audits of my life. Another thing that I've been doing is prayer boards as well. So you know how you have like a vision board and you put all of the things that you want for the year to happen? Listen, I strongly recommend that you do a prayer board instead, because you're putting these desires onto God and you're saying, God, you know, if this is your will, this is what is on my heart. This is what, you know, I'm hoping and wishing to happen for this year. Trust me, it works. So with this, recently this year, I have decided to do quarter audits. So every 3 months, I'm going to be doing an audit on my life based off of my prayer board and just seeing what is changing. That way I can keep up with, what am I saying yes to? What am I saying no to? Am I actively working towards the life of my dreams, or am I just filling up my time with things that are not moving me forward, right? It's all about the different actions that you're taking for, you know, this thing to come true. And that's what it's like being in that transitional space, that liminal space. Maybe the new thing hasn't shown up yet, and we can feel like, okay, well, maybe that means it's not meant to show up, or maybe it'll never happen. This is the space where you're going to be tested the most. Are you going to still have faith in this space where the new thing has not shown up yet? What do you do in that transitional space? And this is what we're going to talk about next. What do you do in the transitional space when you left the old thing, but the better thing have not shown up yet? And this is where I am now. This is when you stay faithful to the journey, right? You keep showing up, knowing that that thing is on its way. This is your time to be in great expectation, right? Who would you be, or who would you be becoming while this thing is coming to you? If it's you making more money in your business, but you know, the new clients have not shown up yet, what would you be doing in the in-between stage? You would be refining your strategy, restructuring your business if you need to, making sure that your foundation is built, that you're doing the marketing that you need to do so that you can be discovered, and you have a plan of action to actively go be around these potential new clients. That's what you would be doing. You would be working towards the thing in the liminal space, in the transitional space. You believed in it and it actually came your way. And now when the thing comes, it just feels aligned. It feels good. I hope that this video helped a woman out there who is actively deciding in her life that she wants better for herself. And if you want to see more videos from me, or if you have any ideas for some new topics that I will talk about, definitely put that in the comment section. I will see you guys in my next video, and I hope that you decide today. Bye.